please write in on the chat box and tell us where you're from, country and town, and then we can really know we're reaching all round the world. For us here, it's afternoon. For some of you, it's evening. For some of you, it's early morning. Yes, hello, Texas and Ireland. Ah, Egypt, Cairo here, Ton. And Brazil and Serbia. Wonderful. Somebody from the Netherlands. And Croatia. Bulgaria. Boston, hello. Hello, Hungary. Hello, Poland. Plenty in the US. So just to explain to you that if you want to ask Ton a question, please write it in the Q&A box. If there was something you didn't perhaps quite catch while Ton was talking, and it's a small thing, ask it in the chat box and we'll try to answer with a few words in the chat box. But the main questions, please put them in the Q&A and we'll have a session on those with Ton when he has finished the main presentation. Yes, and we've got UK coming now. And California. Canada. Hello. I'm just looking back. Don't want to miss any countries. And Singapore, hello. Sweden. So we've got a wonderful spread. So, Ton, in about 1 minute, we can start. About?
Yeah, about.
Ah, hello, Germany. Hello, India. Kalispera, Greece. Hello, Switzerland. So we've welcomed all of you. Now it's the moment to say hello to Ton. And Ton, thank you for coming today to give us more of your wonderful insights. So as soon as you're ready, I will switch off camera and microphone, and you have the floor. And what do you think? About an hour and 20 minutes of presentation? And then a couple of minutes break, and then the questions?
Yes, yes.
Very good. All right. So the recording is on, Ton. So please, everyone, welcome Ton, and we'll start.
So it's a pleasure for me to do this, my favorite theme about hormones and menstruation pains and cycle and fertility. And so it's a pleasure for me to do this webinar. And we have a lot of people, and I'm happy with it because it is so important that we have an answer on all these kind of problems. So why do we so much women have such a problem? Think about the past. First, we need to say what is the woman is built for reproduction. Also men. And the hormones need to be healthy in order. So this is a fertility pathway. I want to show this to illustrate how important hormones are, and also pre-hormones like insulin and even GHB, a neurotransmitter, an exophene, an endorphin, has all to do with the creation of hormones. So if you see what a circle, what a living picture this is, that you see the GABA, the Buddha, the dopamine, the insulin, it has all influence of the building of the follicle and estrogen respective for the new life. So without testosterone, there is a problem. There is no healthy egg, there is no healthy sperm, so this is all necessary. Also oxytocin, love hormone. And when there is too much glutamate, then there is too much dopamine, and then there is a switch off of testosterone, and there is that makes problem with the healthy production of eggs, and the egg need to go every month to the fallopian tube for a possible pregnancy. So here we have the uterus with the fallopian tube, the ovaria, and we need to have a healthy endometrium, and that's oxytocin, very important. For the ovaria is estrogen and estradiol, and for the cervical canal we need to have also oxytocin, and then we have MSH for the lumen in the uterus. So, and also progesterone for healthy lumen in the uterus. So this is amazing what we have for instrument. And this normally, when there is no problem with the hormone balance, everything is okay. But our food, contraceptives, all kinds of influence bring us out of health. So, and I have a beautiful remedy. And if you see the Thalaspis bursa pastoris seeds, it looks like a uterus, the form, and it has, this is one of the most powerful plant remedies for the uterus and all problems with hormones and issues, pains and things around the uterus. So it works also on the bladder, and it helps for healthy blood vessels. It helps for fibroids, for intestinal bleedings, also for myoma, to let shrink the myomas, also with spotting, with bladder infections, all kinds of tissue problems. It helps the production of melanocyte-stimulated hormone. So it strains the skin tissue, and it is an antifungi, antibacterial, anti-worms and amoeba. So it is a beautiful remedy. Very strongly with profused leukorrhea. So read it in the book of Finding Your Way in the Forest of Symptoms. So the physical and mental issues in the period of the menses. So what is the health of the physical part of and that is a part what needs to have a health on healthy hormone balance, but mostly nowadays it is very strange, but 80% of the women have used contraceptive pills or the Mirena coil or hormones, and it brings a big change in the healthy environment of the uterus, and it brings also mental problems. So dysmenorrhea, painful cramps during menses. I see that so often, even with young children, young girls from 13, 14, 15 years, they have troubles with cramps. Of course, in the past, there were also cramps, but not like this on the last 30 years, because there is, on the moment, we have the third generation of women with contraceptive, with the use of contraceptives. So, and this gives a lot of problems with the healthy environment of hormones. There is a very big disbalance, and that gives a lot of cramps. And of course, we have beautiful remedies for this. Mostly I start with such a case, we can say, with all the hormone disbalances around menses and And the cycle, when there is a use of contraceptives, 80% of the cases you can solve with contraceptive. Polycontracceptives is a beautiful remedy to bring down this cramps, this painful moments during the pregnancy. And you can guide this process with cramps when there is bending backwards. They feel relaxed. Then you can give Dioskorea. So, and we can give folliculinum. And nowadays I see often HPV, human papilloma vaccine, as a reason of problems in young children. So we can give a course when necessary with HPV. So heavy bleedings in the period, a prolonged menses, all hormone disbalances. So, and for this problem, we have Thalaspis again, Bursa pastoris, is very strong, very healthy. It brings new health in the uterus and in the whole area of the uterus, and it goes all about hormone disbalance. When we have a problem with heavy bleedings, mostly we have a too low level of progesterone. So for this, we can give DHEA or progesterone itself to bring down the level of bleedings. So, and when there is a prolonged menses, then we can also think on testosterone, and we can think we need to think about SHBG, because it works so beautiful to produce more testosterone, and then the bleedings will stop. So we have beautiful tools with human chemistry method. Bleedings and spotting, irregular intervals, I see them often after the HPV vaccination. It is very damaging, this vaccination, but also because of the third or the fourth generation of contraceptive users, and it brings also a problem with spotting and irregular intervals of bleedings. So also between the menses and also in the beginning of the pregnancy. And that has also to do with progesterone, a shortness of progesterone. So, and Sepia is a beautiful remedy for this. And also Sabina, Ustilago, Secale are beautiful remedies. And when it is black, then it is for sure Secale. When there are when the woman who has lots of menses problems, and when we look in the timeline and we see the mother of the child has had an abortion or an abortion provocatus or a stillborn baby before this girl or woman, then Secale is mostly the remedy to stop the spotting and the irregular menses. So again, a beautiful tool. So the upset of menses, even when when there was no we see nowadays children who get no menses when they are 15 or 16 years. And sometimes they have 1 or 2 when they were 13 and then it stops. So we need to be aware about, is there a kind of anorexia nervosa? Because that is also an issue that brings an absent of menses. So because there is no healthy food, there is too much exercise, they are too slim and they lost weight, so there is no energy to make the healthy hormones, and then there is no menses. But when there is a healthy child, everything is okay, no contraceptive pills, and there is an absence of menses, then or a lack of a disbalance, then we can choose a beautiful remedy, and that's contraceptives. You give a short course, 4x1, and then mostly within 1.5 months or after six weeks, there is no problem anymore. Because the influence of the other children or young adults in the classroom where the children goes to school, the energy is shared with, and most of the children nowadays or young women use contraceptives. So the energy is there. So, and I have seen it several times that I give contraceptives 4x1 once a week. Then I see progress and a regular menses. Of course, it depends always what is there. And we can also think on LH, lutein hormone. That's beautiful remedy to have a healthy start of menses and to create a regular menses. We have GnRH stimulated the pituitary glands and the production of FSH. So we have a healthy follicle. So we get a healthy egg, and then we get a menses. So the upset and a frequent scanty period, that's very often, that more often we see this, and then we talk about Secale as important remedy. But again, contraceptives and also folliculinum Oestrogen, Sabina, FSH, and even aspartame. And sometimes GC-MAF, because there are unhealthy cells. And GC-MAF help to produce dendritical cells, and that makes healthy T cells. So the healthy response of the system is there. So here we see that from out of cholesterol, so cholesterol is a very necessary substance because that's the precursor for the hormone system. So it starts to make pregnenolone, and it will become progesterone, and then hydroxyprogesterone, and there is an exchange with corticosterone, and out of the corticosterone will be made decorticosterone and aldosterone, and then from the deocorticosterone and progesterone, and it goes back in a reverse system to hydroxyprogesterone and androstenedione, and from out of this we get testosterone and estradiol, and out estradiol we get estrogen, and out of testosterone we get testosterone. But then we need cortisol and cortisol aldosteronine to have healthy testosterone and estradiol. It is amazing what happens in our chemie, in our body. And I want to illustrate it because we need to understand what is going wrong. When we have a lack of fat in our food, we have a lack of cholesterol. And then we have already a disbalance in hormones. And what we see nowadays, the people don't eat healthy fat because they are afraid, because of the food advices around the world. They say fat is not healthy, but fat is healthy because nobody grows in weight from fat. You grow from carbohydrates and sugar, but not from fat, because fat, what we don't use for the production of hormones and energy in our body, that we excrete. So healthy fats, that's olive oil, cow butter, flaxseed oil, coconut oil, but also animal fat. We have perilla oil. We have enough sesame oil. We have different kinds of oils and fat who are healthy to help us for the production of cholesterol, and this is the start for healthy sexual organs. So we need to have this. And when there is something wrong on this, in this system, you see on this plate, then we can help the people with, when there is a fatigue, we have, that's an example, we have a shortness of cortisol, and because of this, we have corticosterone, a shortness of it. So there is a lack in this process. So we have no or not enough androstenedione. So we have too low testosterone and estradiol, so too low estradiol, estrogen, and testosterone. So if we understand this, we can help the patient, and we can make a good advice for the treatment. So gonadotropin release hormone is and it is released by the hypothalamus. So when there is a big problem with the menses cycle, with cramps and all kinds of things, also myoma, then we can think on a remedy as gonadotropin release hormone as cause, but also we can consider to give a cause or a single remedy, hypothalamus. So, and from out of this gonadotropin hormone, we produce, that's the stimulation for the production of follicle-stimulating hormone and lutein hormone. So again, an important remedy. So important hormones in the cycle are Oestrogen, progesterone. When there is a too low level of progesterone, we have spotting and bleedings and lots of pain. And when there is a lack of testosterone, there is a difficulty with the start of menses, or we have a disbalance in time. So we have no regular scheme from 28 days, but we have a change every month or 2 months or 3 months, and then a few weeks after each other, or so it doesn't matter. When there is a disbalance, we have a problem with mostly with testosterone. So the contraceptive pills can contain estrogen, progesterone in different variations, high and low. One works more on the progesterone, so then the follicle cannot can click on the wall of the uterus and there can't be a healthy pregnancy or a healthy menses when this is too low. So, and when there is estrogen, the contraceptive pill brings the women in the menopause. So they are already, what I see nowadays more and more, with 14, 15 years on the contraceptive pills. Even some children are on the very young, on the age of 15, even 13. Even I see children who have never had a menses period or a period. They have already the contraceptive pills on 11 years because they have a friend and they have already sex on this age. So the parents of the children decide to give the child contraceptive pill in a case of. So this destroy the healthy level of hormones. So they start to be in the menopause on such a young age. And then they are 30 or even older, and then they want to have a child. And what happens? They can't be pregnant because there is no healthy balance of hormones. So the remedy. So there is, with ovulation, a thickening of the cervical mucus. And that can give problems. So I can't pass a follicum. But we can help patients with this problem with contraceptives. So there is a problem with progesterone. I just said this. So it brings you in a state of menopause. That's the most difficult thing, the most damaging thing what you can do in a young age. Even they give hormones with menopause. So it gives a lot of irritability, quarreling, because hormones gives mental issues. When there is a good balance, there is a good mood, there is health, there is... So, and then we think on pulsatilla or sepia, but what is necessary for a healthy love life, that there is a libido. But because of the contraceptive pills and the hormone disbalance, there is no libido or no libido at all. So, and that gives tension in between partners. So there is irritability, there is, or they have sex without the feeling that they want sex, and then we need to think on Staphysaria, because the opposite of polycontracceptives of sepia is Staphysaria. So Staphysaria is a very important remedy for irritability, and of course sepia. Often when I do a course of contraceptives, I advise to do sepia in a 30 as a solution, 3 drops every morning, to bring a surface of peace. And there are no aggravations with the treatment of or the detox of contraceptives. I have several times that the man or the friend, when I treat the woman or the partner, then the libido come back, and also happiness come back, and they come to thank me that I give the girlfriend back, and all the love is there again. So contraceptive brings a very hard world. So in the book, What is Coming, we have published it. So it restores the endocrine function in all the women who have used contraceptives, and also with the coral or the needle, hormone needle or injection once a month or once a half year. It's very useful for infertility. When you have a long time use of contraceptive pills or Mirena coil, then it is a beautiful remedy for a healthy fertility. So there is a question we need to say to you. When there is a patient in your practice and the patient is on contraceptive pill, do you treat this patient? I don't. I say to the patient, I can help you, but please stop to take the contraceptive pill. Otherwise, I can't help you. So I have done it in the beginning of the time I did it. I gave a course of contraceptives and they don't want to stop with contraceptives. And what we get, I have seen it 2 times, that there becomes a pregnancy. So this is not what we need to do. But also, you get no change because, and also if you treat other diseases or other problems with patients who are on the contraceptive pills, I say to the people, that's not healthy, and I want to bring health, so stop the contraceptive pill or the Mirena coil, and then I can help you. So you see the beautiful things. I have seen breast tumors shrink in 8 weeks. And I think it's already 16 years ago. I had 3 women in my practice who were on the waiting list for a cancer operation. They had done tests, they had done biopsies, and they had a tumor who need to removed. And all these ladies were on contraceptive pills. And we had time enough to give the contraceptive pills. And what happens? I give her 8-week course of contraceptives together with Sepia in the morning, 3 drops out of a solution. And after 10 weeks or something like this, they go to the hospital and then they draw it on the mamea where the place they need to operate, and they couldn't find the place. So they did a new MRI and tests, but they couldn't find it anymore with all the 3 ladies who had it. So it was amazing result. And later on, I have seen it several times. So polycystic ovarian syndrome, also because of contraceptives. Loss of hair. I have seen it so much. Together with, then I give contraceptives together with MSH and SHBG. And then the hair, all 3 as a course, and the hair start to grow again. I had a lady who was really bald because of on the age of 26 years. And with its treatment with MSH and SHBG and contraceptives, 3 courses in 8 weeks. After 8 weeks, the hair started to grow. And after half a year, she had healthy hair again. So, painful chronic facial acne, that's mostly a shortness of testosterone or too much. So you can also give contraceptives as course. And mostly these children has the contraceptives because of acne. And in the first period, it calmed down, but often you see later on that it flare up and we have new acne, and some have very bad acne, and then they give Roaccutane, and that's very dangerous for the whole skin. Better is to give contraceptives. And the remedy is Mildvuur, that's the Dutch name, but Anthraxinum is a very beautiful for very big, painful acne as a weekly remedy, together with contraceptive, of course. And the dryness of the vagina, low libido, on any age, when there is a use of contraceptives in the past, even when it was a few weeks or a few months, still it is a beautiful treatment with polycontracceptives. So I have seen several cases with menopausal complaints with hot flushes, and you can think on FSH and folliculinum, and but the most time I solve it with contraceptives as course. And of course you can do it together with polycontracceptives, with SFH or folliculinum. So we have so much tools. I see a lot of menstrual problems because after HPV vaccine. It is very dramatic. They say that it has no side effects, but there are so much, even infertility, but also problems with levels of progesterone that are too low. And then we have profuse menses. And then we give HPV. And when there is a use of contraceptives, we need polycontracceptives. So it is important to understand that when there is a use of contraceptives, there is always a need to detox, or I call it to the patient that is a hormone balance course. So I give contraceptives always when there is a use of contraceptives. And that solves in 80% of the cases the total thing when you have all the other things right, in the right order. So I can tell days about hormones. And antidepressants like SSRIs brings hormones in disbalance because hormones and neurotransmitters work together. So when we have SSRIs, we bring a disorder in serotonin. And serotonin and cortisol, together with our adrenals, produce estradiol. So there is when we use antidepressants like SSRIs, then we need to detox SSRIs also, because that gives problems with our hormones. And for sure, it gives infertility and a low libido, because it affects testosterone and estradiol. It's amazing what allopathic medication do with our hormones. So, and the side effects from antidepressants gives insomnia, dizziness, fatigue, headaches, dry mouth. So, diarrhea, loss of libido, too much to call. So, better is don't take antidepressants and do a detox afterwards. But take your time, because it is not easy to stop SSRIs. You need to do it in little steps. Take a half year for it to bring it down. Several courses. First, you start with 4x4, and then for 8 weeks, and then 4x4 with 16 weeks, and then 4x4 in 32 weeks. So, and then you wean off the SSRIs. So premenstrual syndrome, how many people has this? How many women has this? This is, so what is helping? Regular exercise. In a way, for your health, doesn't matter what is happening, what kind of disease, what there is, exercise is important. Because for glutamine, for the healthy system, we need to have exercise. Without exercise, we make no methionine enough, and we need methionine. And we need to feel better with adrenaline a little, and it gives better as a boost of endorphin. And endorphin and exorphin, that's nearly the same. That's will create about GHB out of addiction for sweet and carbs and food. So it is not healthy to eat the whole day, because when you eat the whole day, your immune system is the whole day on. And that's not healthy for the nervous system, for the hormone system, and even for the digestion system. It's all connected to each other, all the systems. So we need to eat healthy. Reduce sugar. So, and we need to talk about what we do with clots. Which remedies we have? When they are black or tarry, then we give secale. When they are very big and dark red and days after each other with menses, then we have Sabina. When they are big with also a dirty smell, we have Östilago. And when they have an office smell, we have Medorinum with clots. What we can do with cramps, we have Colocynthus, Melifolium. That's our cramps in the whole belly. And bending or whatever you do, it doesn't help. When it are young girls who are very busy with their beauty, it's Aqualegia, beautiful remedy with cramps. So what to do when there are fibroids? We have important remedy is HPV. We see it often after the HPV vaccine. When there is fibroids, we can also think on contraceptives. Or EUD as a remedy. So the Mirena coil, a special. I've seen after the Mirena coil, or with the Mirena coil, even a few weeks after they place them, crisis with mental issues, burnout, with very deeply depressions. And then I say to these people, please let them take out. And then I give you a course of Mirena coil. And they did it. And I give the Mirena coil. And within a few weeks, or even in a few days, no depression anymore. Heavy bleedings. Again, when it is dark and tarry, we have secale, sepia, verum phosphoricum with a low HB. Sina, when it is like a watery blood and a lot and profuse, it will stop. And the arterio-pituitary remedy. It's also a beautiful one. What remedies we have for irregular menses? We have Senecio, Lilium trigrinum, Pulsatilla, polycontraceptives. So, what to do with problems with serotonin heropname remedies? When there is given SSRI. SSRI have the tendency to bring down the testosterone and the SHBG. So we can treat together with SSRIs when there are problems with profuse menses or pain of cramps. We can combine SSRIs together with testosterone of SHBG. What to do with menopauses when there are hot flushes? I found a new remedy, and that's B3, and I let make it as a homeopathic remedy, niacin. And this niacin, when you use it 500 milligrams with the flush, you get this heat flushes, but you can give it as a homeopathic remedy. Even when the level is okay, it is a beautiful remedy to bring down the hot flushes when you do it as a course. And also FSH, follicle-stimulating hormone as a course, is really amazing. You can make a beautiful job with it. SHBG, when there is a low testosterone. Because when the woman comes in the menopause, the estrogen need to change to a higher level testosterone. So, and because of the menopause, there is a low level, mostly a lower level, when there is a problem with heat flushes, a lower production of SHBG. And when you promote this with a course of SHBG, then comes a higher production of SHBG, and you get automatically, because of this, more testosterone, and the hot flushes will go. It could also be because of a long use of contraceptive medication. That is not a medication, contraceptive pills, even to the end, when there comes a menopause, then it is in too high level of estrogen, and then we need to think on DHEA, because there is too high level of estrogen. And we can give, together with DHEA, estrogen as well, or folliculinum. And when there is insomnia, we can give FSH together with serotonin and melatonin. So 3 courses, FSH and serotonin and melatonin. And then we get a healthy balance from these 3. And then the follicle-stimulating hormone goes down in the production, and the serotonin and melatonin can work to bring a healthy balance, because in the evening, before you go to sleep, it becomes dark, and the pineal glands will make from serotonin melatonin, and in the morning, when the sun comes up and becomes light, the melatonin will return to serotonin. So this is a reverse system, and the pineal glands do this in the system automatically. So is it beautiful also with hot flushes and insomnia? And then we have, very often, we see more and more osteoporosis. And that is because of the contraceptive pill or Mirena spiral coil, too high level of estrogen. And when there is too high level of estrogen, we need more vitamin D3 and K2 and we have a lower level in our blood, so the calcium will be free in the system and is not a building block to have healthy healthy back or healthy bones. So osteoporosis is mainly in women. Mostly you see on a very late age, on 90, but 90% of the people with osteoporosis are women. I think even 98% because of the contraceptive pills. There it goes wrong. There is too high level of estrogen the whole life, and that gives problems with the uptake of calcium out of the system, and a low level of D and K2. So to help people with osteoporosis, first we need to do a detox of contraceptives. Then we can give orthomolecular vitamin D3 and K2, and also give D and K2 together with contraceptives as a course. Then you have then you start to make all these building blocks for healthy bones and healthy discs and joints, and the bones will be healthy again. So, and what also is damaging is the dent paste with fluor. That gives also osteoporosis. And when it is together with contraceptive pills or a disbalance in sexual hormones, then it is an extra problem, the fluor. And also a shortness of manganum can be a problem. So this is so important that we understand what the contraceptive pills does in the system. It looks like of this whole webinar goes about contraceptives. And in a way, before the contraceptives, we had not 10% of the problems what we have now in the society with around the menses and around the menopause. Before, there was no or nearly no problem with. I have seen it with my mother, I have seen it with my grandma. They had mostly no hot flushes, or a very short period, and not so excessive than they have now. So, and still there are women out of several generations who have no contraceptive pills used, or the mother had no use from this, and they have no menses problems or menopause problems. So it is in a way it is a shame that we do it, and that we accept it in our society, that it is normal to have a contraceptive pill. I can understand why, but because it is easy, but for our body it is not easy. So the most important remedy for women nowadays, for a lot of complaints of health, when there is a use of contraceptive pills in life, we need to detox this, to bring it in balance. And then we get, there is a possibility to have a healthy life again. So here we have another picture. Here we see the SHBG, sex hormone binding globally, how important this works. And up on the cholesterol again. And then in the middle, the DHEA. They are so important. They play a very important role for healthy hormones. And what the contraceptive pills do, they bring the estrone and the estradiol in disbalance, and then we have no healthy health, because it is a feedback system. All the hormones work together. You see the arrows, how they go. It is amazing how it works. Without all these hormones, so we had no healthy life. Even in men, there are also testosterone, but also estradiol and estrogen. When men become older, they get belly fat because of the carbohydrates they eat and the lots of sugar. They get, they change the testosterone or the SHBG. They bring it on a lower level and they get more estrogen, and then they have a reason to get a prostate enlargement and prostate cancer on the end because of the disbalance. So a loss of libido. 90% of the people who use, the women who use contraceptive pills have problems with the libido. And they have also dryness, vaginal dryness. And because of the contraceptive pills, there is a problem with the production of oxytocin. And when there is a dryness of the vagina, there is a low level of oxytocin. Because when you have sex and you want to have sex, there is no dryness. Because when there is love and sex together, the body produces a lot of oxytocin, and then you get then the dryness stops. Then you get a lot of fluid, and sex is not painful anymore. A lot of women have painful penetration because of the dryness of the vagina. And then they have liberation, but this is very damaging the skin tissue, so I don't advise it. So, and a loss of libido because of low oxytocin and a low testosterone. Because to have a healthy libido, you need also to have a healthy level of testosterone. Also in women. So hormone replacement, the side effects of it, they look natural, but they give the same effect than artificial of chemic hormones. They give it often with the menopause against heat flushes, again, and also for the thyroids in the menopause. But they have lots of side effects and risk. The risk of hormone replacement is breast cancer on a higher age. 20 years or 30 years ago, we had no women of 70 with breast cancer. And now we have lots of women with breast cancer from the start of the menopause to 70, even 80 years old with breast cancer because of the hormone replacement. So we have homeopathically beautiful tools, because mostly the problems of menopausal problems are because of contraceptive pills. Menopausal complications. So palpitations. And that's because of yes, how you that palpitations is because of a lack of dopamine. So they are easily frightened, they are easily shocked, and that gives, because when there is a disbalance in hormones, there is also a problem with the mental situation. So there are easily disagreement, irritations, and that gives palpitations. So because of a high level of estrogen, the weight increased. So we need to look out for this. We need to have exercise, and we need to bring down the intake of carbohydrates and sugar. Depression because of hormone disbalance. Very often we see this because the SSRIs are damaging so much, and also a disbalance in hormones brings a disbalance in serotonin, and also with adrenaline and noradrenaline. So, and mostly this is because of contraceptives in the past. So osteoporosis, I tell already, again, an estradiol, estrogen, DHEA problem because of contraceptive pills. And in our food, a special processed food, there is no or less magnesium in our food. So we need to take magnesium extra. So no desire to make love. Lilium trichinum, because of depression, or haughtiness because of a high level estrogen and low level of testosterone. And then you get a disbalance in SHBG. So SHBG would be a beautiful remedy. An unknown remedy is vanilla. And we see this more and more because the vanilla in chocolate and in desserts are vanilline, and that's a kind of chemical vanilla made out of wood. So, and that gives also a hormone balance. And vanilla, we can solve this with. Increased desire to make love, again, vanilla and other orchids. Bufforana. Depression, mood. Bisphenol A and BCPs. We have a poly from this. And often you see secale with the depression of mood around the menopause. And mostly this is because that they had in the past miscarrying or abortion, or it's a very important remedy for this. Headaches, it could be lots of things, but headaches of with concentration problems, bacopa. It gives a good blood flow, like OPC do, and hamamelis. And when there is headaches and angriness and bending backwards with the head and pain in the menopause, we can think on Helleborus niger. Simicifuga, when they can't see the light of life, there are always clouds around them. And of course, Nux vomica, cyclame. But there is one missing remedy there. And that's contraceptives. Beautiful remedy for menopausal headaches. And when the head is exploded, in that they have the feeling that it is a bomb, then we have clonowinum as remedy. I have seen it several times. Cardiovascular disease in the menopause. That's because of an increased risk that estrogen level drops. Mostly it is too high, too long, too high, but sometimes it is the other way around. And then we get problems with a possibility that we have how you say this, we get plaque in the arterioles around the heart, and then we get a stroke or a heart attack. So it could be several different kinds of things. Mostly it is because of a high estrogen, but it could also be, and that's a hidden thing, a low estrogen. Risk factor of high blood pressure, of course, we know it's smoking, and that's not because of the nicotine or the tar, but it's because of the pyrazine in the cigarettes. And pyrazine gives also addiction, and because the addiction is not because of the nicotine, but it's because of the pyrazine. So we need to understand what pyrazine is doing, and it brings again a change of hormones in our system, and it gives also cancer and clot, and we get plaque in our arterioles because of smoking and pyrazine. So thank you for being with us on this webinar. It was a pleasure for me to do this. And now we start with a break for, we can say, 5 minutes. And
5 minutes.
And then we come back with your questions, and I'm gonna give answers. So have a break now.
5 minutes. Thank you. At the end of the webinar, when you sign off, a screen will come up asking for your feedback. We'd be really grateful if you would fill that in, because that'll guide us what we did well and you liked, and any other suggestions to do it even better. So that feedback is your chance to tell us all sorts of things. So going to the questions, we'll take them in order that they came in. But just to explain, this isn't a place where we can give advice about cases. For cases, you please contact us to have a supervision, because it's a much bigger issue. So, Ton, first question, do you give the polycontraceptive remedy if the girl or woman has never taken them?
Sometimes I do, because the contraceptive can help to bring order in the balance of hormones. So when there is a problem with when the woman is 17, 18 years old and there is no menses, then you can do a course of contraceptives for 8 weeks, and I have seen that the menses will come without any problem.
So then we're using this as a remedy rather than a detox.
Yes.
Yeah. And it suits the symptoms.
Yeah.
Good. So the next one is, the person says, I have several patients where quite a severe eczema appears, mainly around the eyes and the neck, at period time or ovulation. They've never taken contraceptives and sepia doesn't help. Can you suggest?
We need to know more symptoms but and we need to ask which day when it starts. Is it before the bleeding starts, or is 3 days before, or we need to understand what is happening. I can't answer a question without other symptoms, because that's a problem.
Tom, that's a good answer for everyone, that we cannot just say A equals B. We have to know more picture.
Yeah.
Fine. So next question, could you give us your view on uterine fibroids, potential causes, in addition to heredity, and in a way their connection with hormones, these uterine fibroids?
Mostly they come because of a progesterone problem.
Mm-hmm.
And because of a disbalance, mostly made or caused because of contraceptives.
Mm.
So we can do. My advice is first start with contraceptive course,
Mm-hmm.
together with Sepia in a solution, and with the most probably constitutional or remedy for the reason of the visit.
Yes. Yeah.
That's my advice.
Yes.
And we can do miracles with the contraceptive pill,
Yes.
with polycontracceptives.
Yes. The next one is also a bit more like a case question. So I'll jump a question. Anonymous attendee and other people whose questions we don't get to today, if you write to the email address that I'll give you at the end, we'll try to answer the question, provided it's a question rather than a case. If it's a case, we must do some supervising.
But we can also do it on the Q&A special.
We could also do the Q&A
sessions.
time. Yeah, if we can. Yes. So next person asks, if the periods come every 24 days, and there is a uterine fibroid, how would you suggest dealing with the high estrogen level? The person has never had the contraceptive, and nor has the mother. So there isn't a contraceptive history.
Then it could be Sepia, but it could also be Follicle-stimulating.
Mm.
And again, progesterone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my advice. To think about these 3 remedies.
Yes. Yeah. Now, do you reckon that...
And sometimes you can also think on polyhormones.
Yes. Yes, which we showed on the slide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, plastic like bisphenol A, this very much affects the hormones, for example, the estrogen, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So have you given plastic or bisphenol A in cases where there's a estrogen progesterone imbalance?
I have seen it 2 times in my practice, but very beautiful result with uterus cancer.
Mm. Mm. Right. And if someone, I think...
And it was, the reason was because of the patient used dildos, sex toys.
Oh, and they get
made from plastic.
Yes, and they get warm, and the warm plastic causes the problem, doesn't it?
Yes.
And perhaps we should explain to everyone, Ton, what you often point out, that water in plastic bottles can cause the same problem.
Yes, especially when you put them in the sun.
Yeah, it gets terribly hot and the plastics are leaching. Now, if a woman has low testosterone, how might you prescribe?
Then we can prescribe SHBG or testosterone itself.
Mm. Mm. Very good. Now, how do we work if the sex hormones are affected by adrenal fatigue when there's not enough production of cortisol?
Yes, then we need to edit cortisol.
Mm.
And often you see Epstein-Barr viruses in the past.
Mm.
And that can cause also hormonal problems.
Mm. She's thinking of where the beginning is stress in someone's life, causing the adrenal fatigue.
It depends what kind of stress.
Yeah.
So I can't give an answer because I need to know again.
Not enough information.
But I give some advice. So
Yeah.
to think about.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
So you can check with the blood analysis for antibodies for Epstein-Barr virus or mononucleosis.
Yes. Yeah. So everyone, blood test. How much Ton emphasizes that having blood test results can be really helpful to us in so many cases, right, Ton?
Yes, and we need to think also with HPV vaccine.
HPV.
When there is a HPV in the past, can cause hormone disbalance, but can also give fatigue problems.
Mm. Mm. So human papillomavirus.
Vaccine.
And the vaccine of it, yes.
Yeah.
Now, she's asking the connection between gum recession and a history of contraceptives, IVF, and hormone replacement. Have you seen that?
In one patient?
Yeah.
That's a lot, but mostly the IVF, what they use, the hormones in a poly, can do a great job as a cause.
Now, Tom, the next question is a difficult one in another way. What do you suggest we tell parents of these young children as an alternative to contraceptives? Condoms are too unreliable because irresponsible young people won't use them. And they too are afraid of teen pregnancy. So what do you do in these cases?
Oh, this is...
I told you it's a difficult one.
It's... You know, in the past, of course, there were children before marriage or no planned children. But not everybody gets children who don't want to have children because they know how to do this. That's not a question, because I start with the webinar that we are made for production.
Yes.
So you need to, we are built for reproduction of, so, and that's health. So it doesn't say that everybody needs to have children or a big amount of children, but my father says always to us as children, and I think he is right, sex without love is not healthy. Do you understand?
Absolutely.
And when there is love, you can work with condoms. You can we say in Dutch, you can sing out of the church.
Mm.
Do you understand?
Not quite.
You can have sex and singing not in the church, but out of the church.
All right. Yes. Okay. Be joyful.
Yeah.
Ton, this is a practical thing. Could you stop sharing your slide screen?
I don't know.
I can't do that. I think you may have done it now. I think you've done it. I think it's gone. Okay. Because they wanted to focus on you, you see.
Okay.
Yes, and somebody else here said, sorry, the chat box has just vanished, just said to me that there are these automated systems, these apps that people can use to check their cycle. Now, have you ever with anyone used such a thing?
Yes, I have seen several, and it works well.
Mm.
The Ladycom, they call it.
Ladycom.
Yeah.
Right.
And there is also copper coral, and that is Genafix. And that's a safe coral.
Mm.
So that's an answer.
Yes. Well, a very helpful answer.
Yeah.
Now, just to confirm this, Ton, the person says, can we use polycontraceptive remedy while the person is taking contraceptive pills? Now, you said something that was new to me, that you might get pregnant if you do that.
Yeah, I have seen this.
Mm.
So, but why you should detox contraceptives while they are on contraceptives?
Well, people often say their patients just refuse for various reasons to come off them.
Okay, so, and you can't treat any disease with people who have or are on, no, people who are on contraceptives, you can't treat because the problems come always back.
Yes. And so if
or even there is no reaction at all.
But there's a hidden problem.
Yeah.
So if they're, for various reasons, desperate not to conceive, what do you suggest as alternative to these pills?
I don't understand the question.
Safe ways of contraception.
Yeah, that's...
What do you suggest? Instead of using the birth pills, what do you suggest is safe?
The Genafix is safe.
Genafix. Right. Okay. Right, I've answered that one. If the mother took contraceptives before she had the child, and that child is now a woman with hormonal issues, is this where you would give the polycontraceptive course?
That's a possibility when there is no other possible reason, then this is the best to do.
Yes.
Because when you use polycontracceptives, then you bring balance again in hormones.
Now, do you have any objection to coils which don't have a contraceptive ingredient?
I have no problems with copper coils, but the Genafix is a safe one and have less heavy bleedings with menses. And the other copper coils has very, they have more perfused menses.
Right. Right. So with antidepressants, is the detox the same also in the case of a man who has low libido?
I misunderstood your question.
Well, I think the questioner is comparing men and women with low libido, and they've had antidepressants. Do we give the same treatment in men and women?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have beautiful tools with the detox and hormone balances we have
Yes.
in homeopathy.
Yes. Yes. Sure. So how can we safely reduce hormonal medicine in endometriosis? Every time the person tries this, there's a hemorrhage. So this is medicine, not remedy.
Okay. So endometriosis, often it is also related on contraceptives, use of contraceptives, and use of antibiotics. It could be because of chlamydia or gonorrhea. Do you understand? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, so that was a question from Poland, you see, so I hope
And again,
translator can do that.
progesterone problem.
Progesterone, yes.
I've seen beautiful results. And you can also give the nosodes at scores, endometriosis. It's beautiful.
You've had good results with it?
Yes, yes.
And in fact, with that endometriosis nosode, does it help with the pain that starts at ovulation and continues till day 2 of the menses?
Yes.
You've seen that? Right.
I've seen this.
Good. Yes, and you did say polycontraceptive for amenorrhea in teenage girls, even if they've not had the contraceptive pill, didn't you?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's right. And the next one is yes. Ton, could you mention again the breast cancer protocol to clear the toxins that may have caused it?
It is not a breast cancer protocol, but there is a possibility that because of the contraceptive pill or the Mirena coil, the patients have had breast cancer, has a tumor. But mostly because of the protocol that the allopathic doctors has, for me, there is a doubt that there is the diagnosis of cancer, but I believe that 80% is no cancer, but it is
What, a fibroma?
Yeah.
Hard lump, yes.
Hard lump, yeah.
Yes. Yes. Now, this is interesting. The questioner is asking migraines and headaches related to hormones. So, Ton, I think we'd like to answer to the person. Please join us for the migraine webinar in in May, where we'll exactly cover this subject.
Yes.
And we'll remember to include migraines triggered by hormonal variation.
Yeah.
And just to clarify on the Mirena coil, is it the device itself or the contraceptive embedded in it that's the problem?
Can you repeat it?
Mirena coil.
Yes.
Is it the contraceptive part of it that is the problem?
Yes, that's the problem.
Yes.
So it's nanotechnology
Nanotechnology.
of hormones.
Yes.
That's the reason it works for 5 years.
Yes. Right. Yes. What do you call it? Sustained release.
Sustained release, but it is nanoparticles. By the way, if we look in the time there was no contraceptive pill or Mirena coil, what was the number of breast cancer then?
Very low.
1 on 1,000 women. And now 1 on 4 or 3 women has breast cancer.
Is it that bad?
That bad, yes. Because of contraceptives.
Yeah. Now, if a girl of about 12 has acne and also quite a lot of dark body hair growing, would you think this could point to PCOS, polycystic ovaries?
Can you repeat this question?
Yeah. A girl of 12 has bad acne and also is growing dark hair on her body. Would you possibly be thinking of polycystic ovary syndrome?
No, I will advise to give SHBH.
SHBG.
SHBG.
Yeah,
yes.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes testosterone could be also.
Or testosterone, yes, to balance it.
And also follicle-stimulating hormone. FSH.
FSH. So perhaps give the 3 courses.
No, think about what what you see on symptoms.
Yes, match the patient.
We have materia medica in the book, I wrote, so
yes,
you can see this.
Yes, yes, and even more in the new book that's coming.
Yeah.
So women who are in or well into menopause, it can be very difficult to reverse their overweight. What is happening here? How do we work with it?
On what age you say?
Well, I'm presuming 55, 60 plus.
Yeah.
I'm imagining from the questioner.
Yeah. It could be because of the contraceptive pills or Mirena coil in the past, but it could also be because of the wrong diet, too much carbs, too much sugar. Then we have too high level of estrogen.
Yes.
And the menopause becomes later and later, and we get body fat because of this high level of estrogen.
Yeah. So balance the estrogen.
Yeah.
Right. Now,
together with DHEA.
DHEA, yeah. So if a woman becomes very energetic around 11 at night and is tired during the day, would you then be looking at giving melatonin and serotonin, perhaps as courses?
Then I start with Medorhinum.
Start with Medorhinum. And might that also be adrenaline?
When there is a need of exercise on that time, then it could be adrenaline.
Yes, yes.
And when it is snacking, then you can think on exophene.
Exophene, right, yep. So again, folks, it depends what the detailed symptoms are. This person said, I've had 13 years of hot flushes and insomnia, never taken contraceptives or anything with fluoride, and take good quality supplements and eat well, but I still have the problem. So, Ton, is that enough information for you to give her an idea of how to open the door a bit?
What is her weight? What is her length? We need to understand which hormone is.
Yes.
And mostly estrogen.
Yes.
Is the problem. And there could be other reasons.
Yeah. Sorry, ma'am, we shall need more detail.
And also the microbiome in our system and in our guts can give osteoporosis.
What will give osteoporosis?
When there is a disbalance in our microbiome.
Microbiome, right. Yes. So she might need her Polybowel Plus.
Also, when everything is healthy. Could be something hidden there.
Yes. I think this question may be too technical for us today, where the vulva has atrophied, shrunk, and there is lichen problem.
Lichens plages.
Yes. Sclerosis.
Lichens sclerosis. I have seen it several times with the remedy for nails, that's Lamisil. After using Lamisil.
Lamisil.
I have had several patients with this problem. And they cured after a course of Lamisil.
Right.
And HPV.
And HPV. Good.
The nosode, not the vaccine, but the nosode.
Nosode, yes. Yes.
And Medorhinum.
And yes. Perhaps open with Medorhinum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Lamisil, I see.
Yes.
You can get it for off the counter. Lamisil.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. It's about fungi nails, they give it.
Ton, we could have another hour or 90 minutes to go through these questions. We told everyone it would be a 2-hour meeting, so I wonder whether we should stop there. Do you think?
I think it is okay for today.
I think we can't do too much at once.
If you want to digest this, what I told, it's a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot. So everyone, we do have question and answer webinars. We will run other help sessions, I think, for questions like how do we prescribe the courses, or so many things in the chat box showed that many of you weren't familiar with human chemistry and our workings. So we'll need to give you more help. So everyone, thank you for coming. Please fill in the survey. It will really help us and help you. And Ton, above all, thank you very much indeed for a really powerful teaching session.
Okay. And thank you all, and I hope to see you on another webinar or seminar, or maybe live in the future.
Yeah, I mean, we've put the website address. You saw that at the end, and we'll make sure you've all got that, and the address where if you need to write to us. So everyone, thank you very much.
And of course, when you follow me and you follow seminars or webinars, then you get the answers.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Please.
Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you.
And I hope to see you soon.
Very soon.
Okay. Bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Goodbye.
Bless you all.